Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing an Arcana Night deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is a super fun deck to play that's based around the old school cards Kings, Queens, and Jacks Knight, which is absolutely amazing to base a deck around those cards. I have all sorts of spicy tech cards in this build for you guys, so without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description for every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of King's Knight. King's Knight is a key combo piece in this deck and a card that you actually want to see in your opening hand because it has the ability when this card is normal summon, while you control a Queen's Knight, you can special summon Jack's Knight from the deck, which is a great effect to get you 3 monsters on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Queen's Knight. Queen's Knight is a great 3 vanilla monster we can use as a combo piece in the deck to be able to summon out our copy of Jack's Knight off the copy of King's Knight effect. We then play just 2 copies of Jack's Knight. Jack's Knight is a little bit of a brick in the deck, but still a great 2 of to be able to special summon out the effect of King's Knight. And is a great combo piece in the deck to be able to special summon off of a bunch of different cards' effects. We then play 3 copies of Joker's Knight. Joker's Knight is an extremely powerful card in this particular build, and has an awesome effect that you can send a Queen's Knight, King's Knight, or Jack's Knight from your deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, this card's name becomes the sent monster's name until the end phase, which is a super good effect to be able to send your copy of Queen's Knight to the graveyard to special summon out this card to your side of the field, and then normal summon out your copy of King's Knight to be able to activate its effect to special summon out Jack's Knight from the deck, which is an awesome combo for this deck. This card also has the ability that during the end phase, if this card's in the graveyard, you can target one of their light warrior monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, add this card back to your hand, which is a super powerful effect because you're already sending a light warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard to summon out this card, which is a really cool effect. We then play 3 copies of Imperial Bower. Bower is a great 3 of in the deck that has a super good effect that if you control no other monsters, you can tribute this card and then take 2 different monsters from your deck among Queens, Kings, and Jack's Knight and either add them to your hand or special summon each monster, which is an awesome effect to instantly get you 2 knights on your side of the field so you can go in for some link plays or even XZ summons. We then play a single copy of Royal Straight Slasher. This card is super good in this particular deck and a great 1-of that we can summon off of our really powerful spell card, Royal Straight. But this card has the ability that cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned with Royal Straight. If you have all of Queens, Kings, and Jack's Knight in your graveyard, you can send 5 monsters with different levels from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, destroy all cards that your opponent controls, which this deck can actually pull off, which is really cool to OTK your opponent with that effect. This card also has the ability, when this card is destroyed by battle, you can target up to 3 light warrior monsters in your graveyard and special summon them, and you can only use the effect of this card once per turn, but that's an extremely powerful effect to be able to destroy all the monsters and all the cards that your opponent controls, which is a really cool effect for this card to have. We then play a single copy of Arcana Triumph Joker. This card is super easy to summon to your side of the field because if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send a Queens, Kings, and Jack's Knight from your hand or face up from the monster zone to the graveyard to special summon this card. And this card gains 500 attack for the combined number of cards in both players' hand, which is a really good effect, and this card can get absolutely massive in this particular build. This card also has the ability that you can discard 1 card, destroy all cards that your opponent controls with the same type, monster, spell, or trap as the discarded card, which is a really powerful effect to be able to board wipe your opponent's field of a certain type. We then play a single copy of Infernoble Knight Renauld for the Isolde plays. This card is really good to be able to recover your copy of Living Fossil from the graveyard to help you link climb into some really powerful cards. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom, which is our level 3 for our copy of Royal Straight, which is really cool for this particular deck, and it's also a great hand trap to stop the opponent from touching the deck. We then play 3 copies of DD Crow just to be able to banish cards from our opponent's graveyard, and is also the level 1 monster that we're going to be using for Royal Straight. We then play 3 copies of Cyframe Gear Gamma and a single copy of Driver, which is really good to stop our opponent from hand trapping us while we don't have any cards on the field, which is extremely powerful for this particular deck to be able to use because of cards like Imperial Bower that actually removes itself from the field, which we won't control a monster, so we can protect ourselves with Gamma. And the really cool thing about the hand traps in this particular deck is we actually have level 1, 2, and 3 with the hand traps, and with the knights we actually have 4 and 5, which will activate our effect of Royal Straight Slasher, which is really cool. And I really love that about this deck, how well it flows with the hand traps and actually incorporates them into the combo. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda's just really good in this deck to be able to use, basically just to search out any of the knights that we need at any time that are level 4 lower. We then play a single copy of Living Fossil. Living Fossil is really good to combo with your copy of Isolde, and is also a Monster Reborn, which is absolutely insane for this deck. We then play a single copy of Double or Nothing because it's super easy in this deck to be able to put 2 level 4 monsters on your side of the field to make a copy of Utopia Double, which is super powerful with this particular card because it leads to an OTK. Because basically what you do is make a copy of Utopia Double, detach a material from a Utopia Double, make a copy of Utopia with 5,000 attack points while also searching out your copy of Double or Nothing. You can then attack into your opponent's monster, but not directly into a monster that has 2,000 or less attack points, detach a material from the copy of Utopia to negate its own attack, drop a copy of Double or Nothing that we searched, and then the Utopia can attack again for 10,000 attack points, essentially OTKing the opponent if you attack into a monster with 2,000 or less attack points in attack position, which is really cool about this deck. We then play 2 copies of Unexpected Die. Unexpected Die is a really good 2 in this particular build because it lets us special summon a normal monster from our deck to our side of the field, which is going to be our copy of Queen's Knight because it's a normal monster, it's level 4 lower, which can help us by just normal summoning out our copy of King's Knight right behind it to special summon Jack's Knight from the deck. We then play 3 copies of Joker Straight. Joker Straight is really awesome in the deck and one of the best cards in the entire build because you discard a card to special summon out a Queen's Knight from your deck and then add a King's Knight or Jack's Knight from your deck to your hand, which we're always adding King's Knight from deck to hand off this effect. Then, immediately this card resolves, you can normal summon 1 monster, which is a really good effect to be able to instantly normal summon out your copy of King's Knight while you've already put Queen's Knight on your side of the field, because you'll get to special summon out your copy of Jack's Knight to your side of the field. It also has the ability you cannot special monsters from the X deck for the rest of the turn except Light Warrior monsters, and during the end phase, if this card's in the graveyard, you can target 1 Light Warrior monster in your graveyard, shovel it back in the deck, and we do add this card to your hand, which is a great effect that you can use again next turn, which is just really good. We then play 3 copies of Royal Straight. Royal Straight is really interesting in the deck and lets you send a Queen's, King's, and Jack's Knight from your hand or face up from the monster zone to the graveyard, and then special summon 1 monster from your hand deck or X deck or even graveyard that mentions all of Queen's, King's, and Jack's Knight, which is really cool because you can special summon out your copy of Royal Straight Slasher or even Arcana Knight Joker or your copy of Triumph Joker, which is really cool to be able to summon out any of those cards off this card's effect. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Joker's Wild. Joker's Wild is a really good 2-of in this particular deck because it lets you copy some of your card's effects. Because during the main or battle phase, you can send a spell card from your deck to the graveyard that mentions all the cards listed of Queen's, King's, and Jack's Knight, and this effect becomes that spell's effect, which is a really awesome effect to be able to use because it basically copies our really powerful spell cards like our copy of Royal Straight or our copy of one of our other cards, which is really cool. This card also has the ability during the end phase, if this card's in the graveyard, you can target a Light Warrior monster in your graveyard, shovel it back in the deck, and if you do, add this card back to your hand so you can use it all over again, which is a really awesome thing about this card. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Arcana Knight Joker. Arcana Knight Joker is really cool because we can actually special summon it off of our copy of Royal Straight, which is a really awesome effect of this card, and it's also a 3,800 attack point boss monster, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Arcana Extra Joker. This card is a Light Warrior, which is why we're playing this card as a 1-of, and it's still a really good boss monster that we can make with this particular deck. It's a really good 1-of, but we really only need a single copy of this super cool boss monster. We then play a single copy of Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker is just a great card to be able to summon to our side of the field, to pop multiple cards on the field and come out absolutely massive. This card usually is coming out with 5,300 attack points, and we have multiple different attributes of link monsters we can actually banish from the graveyard to be able to pop multiple cards on the field. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa, because this card is just really good to put on the field as a monster negate, and it's a great monster to play in the extract. Play a single copy of Draco Masters of the Tenyi. This card is a really unique card for this particular deck because we are playing normal monsters, and as it really takes 2+ monsters, including a link monster, to summon, and it cannot be destroyed by battle with an effect monster. And if you control no other effect monsters, you can destroy effect monsters your opponent controls up to the number of non-effect monsters that you control and are in your graveyard, which is a really powerful effect because your copies of your normal monsters count as non-effect monsters, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Unicorn to spin stuff, Phoenix to pop spells and traps, and then a single copy of Isolde. Isolde is just really powerful in this deck because we are playing pretty much all warriors in this particular deck, and it combos extremely well with our copy of Renal by sending Living Fossil to the graveyard to special summon Renal from deck, and then Renal will go off to grab back our copy of Living Fossil to essentially help us go into a Link 4 play, while also being a light warrior monster to help us go in for some really awesome plays in the deck. We then play a single copy of IP Masquerena because we can use this card to go into our Unicorn during the opponent's turn. One copy of Psyframe Lord Omega because we can synchro summon in this card using our copy of Gamma and Driver, being able to rip a card out of the opponent's hand. We then play a single copy of Utopia Double. This card is extremely powerful because all you have to do with this card is detach a material, search double or nothing from the deck, and then make a copy of Utopia on top of it. This Utopia will come out at 5,000 attack points. You can attack your opponent's monster with this card, detach a material to negate its attack, drop double or nothing, and this card will go up to 10,000 attack points. We then play a single copy of Utopia the Lightning, just in case we draw into the copy of double or nothing, we can still make a 5,000 attack point Utopia the Lightning. A single copy of number 60. Number 60 is really good to double the attack of a monster, draw 2 and discard 1, or use it as a monster reborn. We then play a single copy of Double Azus because we are playing a bunch of XZs in this deck, and this card is just really good at board wiping the field. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Arcana Knight before, I definitely recommend it because it's super fun to be able to just summon out all those old school monsters, Kings, Queens, and Jacks Knight, and then summon out all sorts of extremely powerful boss monsters using those cards. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell near soon, come part of notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.